Hello ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kyle here, and today's video is about dealing with crazy parents. Part 2 is setting up house rules. I'm Kyle Thalman, aka Coach Kyle. I'm a gymnast, engineer, a philosopher, and a coach. I invented the wizard coaching method because it works like magic. Yeah. And please like and subscribe if you like this channel or this video is useful in any way. Anyway, let's get down to it. So, setting up house rules. This video is more about making a set of like house rules or a culture in your gym of how, everybody's supposed to behave and treat each other. And you make sure everybody knows what these rules are. Okay, post them up at the front office, post them in the waiting area, post them on the bathrooms. Be like, look, this is how we conduct ourselves. If you break these rules, you'll be asked to leave. I say this because I kind of view parents and athletes as guests in your house. Okay, if somebody's over at my house and they say, yeah, you got a really ugly couch, I'll be like, dude, why are you being a butt? If they kick my dog, I'm going to ask them to leave and never come back. So it's like, it depends on how bad of the behavior is, but they will have repercussions. If they start dissing my wife or my wife's cooking while we're at dinner, I'm like, okay, I'm never going to invite them back over to my house. Okay, so it's like, you follow these rules or this will happen. Here's a quick list of rules that I would have posted around your gym or somewhere so that all the parents and athletes and coaches can see and be like, look, this is how you're supposed to behave. Number one, obviously, no physical violence or threats to the students, the coaches, or other parents, okay? Just keep violence out of the gym. This is not a violent place. This is a place of learning, you know what I mean? Rule number two, no sexual harassment to any of the coaches, the athletes, or other parents, okay? It's like an office building, okay? This is a professional place. Act professionally, okay? Have respect for other people. Rule number three for the parents is no yelling at the coaches or the athletes in or out of practice. The only exception would be danger. Okay, if you see like one of the coaches is doing something and another kid has like climbed the rope but wrapped it around their neck and like is strangling to death, then the parent can yell out from the waiting room and be like, hey, there's somebody about to die. It's the only exception. Okay, but if they're like, get your arms straight from the waiting room, that's unacceptable. We'll warn you once, maybe twice, and then you're gone. Rule number four. No gossiping about the parents, the athletes, the other coaches, the gym manager. No gossiping in the gym. To other parents, to other coaches, I don't want to hear it, okay? Do not gossip about my coaches saying this coach is better than that coach because this one's too young, that one doesn't have enough experience. If you got a problem with the coaches or the staff or any of the athletes, you come to the front office or then you come to me. You know what I mean? We don't gossip. It doesn't help anybody. It just breeds ill content in the whole culture. It's really bad. Rule number five is no complaining. Okay, nobody wants to hear your problems. If you're asking for help, that's different. Okay, if you're like, man, I don't know how to get more vegetables into my diet. You seem very healthy. How do you get more veggies in your diet? We'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I do. If you're asking for help, cool. But if you're in there complaining, like, my job sucks, this sucks, I'm always late, the traffic sucks, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it, okay? Keep that out of my gym. Rule number six is no swearing. No coaches, parents, athletes, office staff, no swearing, okay? It's just a sign of respect to each other in the gym. Last rule I have is don't be late picking up your kid. It's not cool, okay? It forces the coaches to stay late, and then it's not cool for the kid because they're like, hey, where's my mom and dad? They're supposed to be here. They're going to be worried about you. It's just not cool. So make sure, you're on time or a little bit early picking up your kid. Oh, and if it's an emergency, call the front desk. Be like, look, I got a flat tire. I'm going to be 20 minutes late. I'm fine with that. But, let us know. Don't just show up 20 minutes late. That's not cool. So following these rules, you want to set up some other procedures or systems in your gym so that parents can communicate with coaches if they have a problem with, like I said, we don't want gossip. So if they have a problem with the class, have like, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong forms? Those anonymous forms are really good. Or they, let, have them talk to the front office, have a system in place and let everybody know. It's like, look, if you have a problem or a concern or whatever, let us know. We always want to get better. So, but just make sure there's a way for the parents to be able to talk to the coaches, but have a system in place to also protect the coaches. Because if you're just like, yeah, go ahead, talk to them. Oh man, I had one of those experiences where I was a 16-year-old coach and this, 30-year-old huge, he must have been like 300 pounds, like 6'5" dude, had some questions for me. And he was kind of nice, but intimidating as I was scared out of my mind because it was like, I'd been coaching for like 3 months, and all of a sudden this one parent had a problem with my coaching technique. And I'm like, I barely know how to coach, guys. So yeah, they kind of fed me to the sharks on that one. So have a system, if it's a very new coach, like make sure there's a more senior coach there with them. Another thing you want to think about is having a written out system of like, what are the penalties for breaking these rules? Okay, for the swearing, obviously I'd be like, okay, 1 warning, 2 warning, maybe 3 warnings, and then I'd ask them to leave. But if they're just yelling and harassing or threatening physical violence to one of my coaches, I'd be like, you get out now, or we'll call the police. It's like, what are the steps? Ask them to leave. If they don't leave, call the police. If they still don't leave, let the police deal with it. Another thing to think about is sexual harassment. I know one gym that had to get a restraining order for one of the parents because he was sexually harassing the teenage girls on the girls' team. I mean, that's super creepy and like, wow, really, dude? But, those situations happen, and like, just go through what are we going to do before it happens. So how to implement this in your coaching? 1, if you're a coach, talk to your gym manager, or, also have it your own system, like write out these rules for yourself and be like, look, what's acceptable behavior? What's unacceptable behavior? If a parent comes at me like this, what do I do? You know what I mean? If you're a gym manager, I highly suggest you get some sort of rules of etiquette up on the walls in your gym. Make them extremely visible. Be like, look, follow these rules or get out. And I think it doesn't have to be my rules, but I highly recommend these. Question of the day is, what are your other rules that I haven't thought of, or that you guys usually do? I know a coach a long time ago said no sitting for coaches. No sitting ever. If you're a coach, doesn't matter if you've been coaching for like 12 hours that day, you standing up, you can lean, but no sitting. So what are your other, gym rules, culture building rules of etiquette at your gym? Put them in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this channel or you like the videos, like the button, subscribe to the channel, post it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you share it. Anyway, I'm Coach Kyle. Rock on.